Welcome back to GRE Bombs. Here we are in Bomb 11. Here we have a combination of a word problem together with multiple choice questions. Multiple choice with a word problem. Alright, so let's take a look at what the question has to say. It says, 30 family members decided to make a pot in order to buy their aunt a wedding gift. Due to financial hardship, 5 members of the family weren't able to contribute at the last minute. The remaining members of the family found themselves having to contribute an additional $12.50 in order to collect enough to purchase the gift. What was the price of the gift? Alright, so how are we going to tackle this question? The first thing that I want to notice is that since each of the individuals of the family are putting the same amount of money into the pot, at the beginning, let's say for example G is we label G as the price of the gift. So that's basically what we're shooting for. We want to find what G is. Price of gift. Initially, there were 30 family members. That means that G over 30 is the amount of money that each of the family members initially was going to put in to the pot in order to buy the wedding gift. After the 5 members of the family back out, they find themselves each having to put an additional $12.50. That is, after the 5 members went away, they found themselves that no, we don't have to put G over 30 into the pot. Now we have to put G over 30 plus 12.50. Let me erase that plus sign. That was a little bit crooked. Alright. Write that. Okay, so this is the amount they were previously supposed to put, and now they're having to add an additional $12.50. And that's the amount that they're going to put now that they're not 30 people, but now 25. That is, the price of the gift divided by 25 between the 25 people will be the same as the price previously that they were supposed to put, which was G over 30 when there were 30 people, plus an additional $12.50 because 5 people back out. So I guess, if you're trying to answer this question, this is the most important part of solving the question. Afterwards, it's just plain arithmetic and trying to solve for G. But you need to have that set equation initially in order to be able to find G. Basically extracting the information given in the question and slowly putting it into an equation. Alright, so now let's solve for G. Alright, so I'm going to subtract G over 30 to the other side. We have 12.50 equals G over 25 minus G over 30. Again, like we subtract fractions, we find the common denominator. The common denominator here is 150. What do we multiply 25 to make it 150? We multiply it by 6. So therefore this G becomes 6G. And what do we multiply 30 to make it 150? We multiply it by 5. So therefore we multiply the top and the bottom by 5. It becomes 5G over 150. What does that simplify to? That simplifies to G over 150. And therefore here on the other side we have 1250. That is 1250 equals G over 150. I'm going to write this here. Equals G over 150. And now I multiply 150 to the other side. We have 150 times, here next, times 1250 equals G. Alright, and after a little bit of arithmetic, and you can actually pull up the calculator. If there's a moment of time when you do need to you should use the calculator in the GRE, is to compute something simple like that. Something that it's quick, boom, it reduces the room to make error. And you just plug in 150 times 12.50. And after doing that, we get 1,875. And that equals G. So that's my answer. The price of the gift is 1,875. That is option B. Alright, before leaving this session, leaving this question, I want to focus on how we got that first equation, because everything comes from getting that. After you get this initial equation, then you're basically done. It's just solving for G afterwards. Okay, so what was the thought process? The thought process was, Look, initially there were 30 people. That means that the price of the gift was going to be split among 30 people. That's why I write G over 30. G over 30 is the amount that each person was going to contribute to the pot initially. What happens afterwards? The 5 members of the family back out and they find themselves having to put an extra $12.50. That's why I wrote this plus $12.50. G over 30 plus $12.50 is what each person is going to put to the pot now that the 5 people left. But what's the price of the gift after the 5 people leave? Well, each person is going to put G over 25 because there's no longer 30 people, but now there's 25 people. That means that G over 25 must equal this amount here on the left. And then we solve for G afterwards. Alright, that was a quick question, multiple choice question with word problem. And if you guys have any recommendations or specific questions, type of questions that you guys want to work on, please leave it in the comments, leave a like, subscribe, and I'll be back on bomb 12. Yes. Alright, take it easy.